But that's not all. So we get asked, at least I've gotten asked a lot of times, on what about uh, artificial intelligence for voice? Okay. What about, AI making calls, making phone calls, like a robot making phone calls for you on your behalf? What is up with that? All right, folks, we are here. We are live. Welcome back to another Tuesday Topics. Today's an interesting one, right? We have our great Luis Raul from our coaching team. Luis does a lot of coaching of our ISAs, meets with a lot of our clients, but he is also kind of an AI enthusiast. Okay, he's involved. He's aware of the technology, plays around with a lot of the tools that are out there. Let me not speak for you, Luis. Go for it. Tell us, how you became aware of these new generation of AI tools, and what do you use them for on a daily basis? Go for it, man.
So, as you heard about ChatGPT and curiosity. It's like, what is this all about, right? So, when I started looking into it, I found out how it just so easily replaced Google. It's like a refined, like you don't even need to go into the
Isn't
website
that
anymore.
isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how I got involved, because I remember back in the day when I was in school and everything, Google was my go-to for any type of research, right? When I needed to do some research, it was Google. Now, when I gotta do research, I chat GPT it. I go to chat GPT with any subject, with anything, and it gives me a lot of great ideas. I don't think everything it's 100% on point, but it's very close. You just
It's pretty
take
close.
what yeah.
It's pretty close, and one, and it's kind of like replacing Google, because Google, when you ask it a question, for example, like, I don't know, let's say we're talking about real estate, we're training an ISA, and oh, I got this objection about US HUD. What's US HUD? You can put a US HUD into Google, and it'll give you 10 links that will get, maybe one of them is going to be the most relevant to your question, right? If you do US HUD. If you ask ChatGPT what is US HUD, it's not going to give you 10 links for you to go read and understand, right? It's going to give you the answer. And if you wanted to expand on it, if you wanted to do more information, if you have follow-up questions, drilling down questions, it'll answer those for you, right? It'll give you the definition. And I agree with you, Luis, that it is not 100%, like it's not a flawless piece of technology. Neither is Google, right? Actually, there's a lot of difference between what we see on Google and what we haven't. I think Google has the advantage of this model of page rank, where the first option, like the first response on Google, is usually a really high quality response. And for some questions, Google will just give you the answer. It'll give you the answer at the very top. When it has a high confidence in what the answer is, it'll definitely do that for you. But a lot of times it's kind of hit or miss. It's kind of you have to go into these links, kind of read them. It tries to give you a lot of the information right off the bat. But ChatGPT is something else entirely, man. You ask it a question, it's going to give you the answer, right? And you can kind of mold it and change it. For us at Power ISA, I tell you, I've used some use cases for me have been creating marketing materials, creating a copy, blogs, especially blogs that we used to spend, it was $7,500 on each blog. Now it takes a couple minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to do with ChatGPT. So that's a big difference for us, right? And also when I'm creating a new piece of training, a new class, I'll ask it for ideas. It can't write the training for me. It's not that good yet, not yet, but it gives me some ideas, right? For example, like, what are the best ways to convert Facebook leads? I do a lot of content around conversion for Facebook leads. Hey, what are some ideas? And then every now and then it'll give me a good idea, or at least how to structure my content, right? How to structure the talk. It'll give me some bullet points that I can start off on. Best case, it gives me a really good outline of where I can go ahead and add some of my magic sauce, right? But it's my assistant. It's my marketing assistant. It's my copywriting assistant. It's my idea, assistant. I think it's pretty awesome at that. What are some use cases that you've seen when you're working with ISAs or working with our team training ISAs? Have you seen anything where it's been useful for you?
Yeah, definitely. And the training, like you said, it's my starting point. It helps me put out the idea into like bullet points where okay, I could talk about this. Oh no, this is not that useful. Okay, yeah, we can add a little bit more on here. And what I like about it is that you could ask it. Hey, can you explain a little bit more about this? Can you give me more details on this subject? And you can just keep going down the rabbit hole. It'll just keep providing you more information into whatever you're interested on. So I use it in trainings. I've done a lot of my trainings. um eh, eh, I had ideas as to, for example, what was a bit new to me was working with lending campaigns, directly with lenders, not just the real estate agent. And I had to learn a lot more in detail about the lender process. ChatGPT helped me a lot with that, and it helped me with information that I could use to explain to the ISA. Yeah, yeah, that's where I used it for a lot of my
Let me
sessions.
I think we're talking a good deal about this. Let's do a demo. Let's kind of show people. This is something I asked it the other day because we're creating, a new offer, some new marketing materials around virtual assistants for real estate. And I said, hey, you know what? ChatGPT, why don't you tell me about what is a virtual assistant for real estate? Because what we actually want to do is you want to give people some use cases. Like what are some specific tasks that people would assume that a virtual assistant for real estate would do? And it gave us a list of 10 different things, right? 10, of these, we already thought about like six of these. The other four, I hadn't even thought about. Like, oh well, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that. Like event coordination, client events. Hey, why doesn't your virtual assistant help you coordinate and create a client event? Like rent out the space, reserve the spot, call the vendors. Like, why not? Right? That would be a pretty awesome, training. Like, we would provide the training on how this is done. We train our virtual assistants, and then they go and service the agent. Right? So I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. So there's a lot of really interesting things that can be website management. Right? Website management can mean a million things to a million people, but we could package this into okay for this kind of website. Your VA can manage this for you, right? Mm-hmm. So this was a really good, like you said, Luis, a starting point. This is a really good starting point for like brainstorming and getting some ideas. Let's ask it something different. Like, tell me the steps to buy a house. I'm just gonna throw that out, right? So go, ChatGPT. Go. Assess your financial situation, get pre-approved, start house hunting, make an offer, right? Negotiate terms and sign a purchase agreement, complete due diligence. That's always interesting. It's got the due diligence period in there for sure. Finalize the closing, move it. This is the pretty straightforward. I think this is the summarized version of it, the compact. Hey, let me tell you. Can you make this a little bit better? Hey, can you add some more steps that happen before step one? Let's see what it does. I'm just curious. See if it'll add anything better. Oh, here we go. Evaluate your long-term goals. Save for a down payment. That's not bad. Check your credit score, reduce success. This is good. This is actually pretty good. This is not bad. Get pre-qualified, research. So get pre-qualified, research the neighborhood and the market, and then kind of go back, right? Then kind of go back and then get pre-approved. So this is even better than the first one, actually. This was actually really good. This is actually a little bit less obvious. This is less obvious of what you would come up with on the steps, to buy a house, right? So, I mean, this thing is good and it's only getting better, right? So here's some crazy good. So I have the Chat GPT, the paid version, the pro version. I can actually jump here and do, on the brand new GPT-4. I find GPT 3.5 is a little bit better, a little bit more precise. The other one's a work in progress. But if you go here to DALL-E and the AI image creation for this thing is wicked, right? So let me just show this to people. So actually, I'm curious. You know what? I'm going to ask it to design a new logo. Design a new logo for Power ISA. Design a logo for a telemarketing company for real estate. I'm gonna keep it simple. How about that? Oh, maybe I should have given it the name. It's not good at spelling, though. I don't like giving it names and words to put into images because it doesn't do a good job. I don't know why. It doesn't do a great job putting words into images. Not yet. So it's taking a little bit of time, taking a little bit of time. All right, it's thinking, it's thinking. Let's see what the new Power ISA logo might be. So, okay, interesting. So a home and a phone, that makes sense, right? 'Cause that's what our logo is about. It has like a headset in the house, right? So this is pretty cool. Telemarketing, real estate. So, okay. The name of the company is Power ISA, and the logo colors need to be blue, white, and green. Let's try again. Let's try again. Regenerate, right? Regenerate. So make it, gotta tweak it a little bit. Gotta tweak it. This is not bad. This is not bad. Look, you know how it's spelled telemarketing?
Yeah, I can
Telemarketing?
see it.
It does
Yeah, I
that.
can see
It does.
it.
I get I don't know what the deal is with that. TS real estate. Like, what does that even mean? So let's try this. Let's see what it does on its next iteration. Because I think the image creation always does some funny things. Power Lisa. Okay, well, no, close enough for Power Lisa. So it's got okay. Okay, so you can keep going with this. Hey, try a darker blue, a brighter green. Try this, try that, change this. You can actually it's like a designer working for you, right? I've hired a lot of graphic designers. We even have we've had graphic design people on staff. This is scary good when it comes to graphic design, right? It's close enough to be dangerous, right? So that's just a few examples of the power of ChatGPT. If you haven't played around with it, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is great for bouncing off ideas. And or how about here's another one. Let's go with another one here today. So let's go with good old ChatGPT again. What are the top objections you can get from expired listings? I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not a very good question, but I'm going to see what it's going to say. Price disagreement, agent performance, market conditions, lack of marketing, condition of property, communication issues, misguided expectations. Competing. So this is more like from the perspective of the agent, right? This is not so much what the actual objection is going to be when talking to the seller, but this is like for the agent to think about. Like as an agent, there was probably an issue on price, right? Probably. Maybe the market was tough. Maybe the agent didn't do their job. Like this is from the perspective of the agent. What are some objections that an owner of an expired listing will say if I call them and want to list their home? I'm gonna try it again. Give a little bit more precise information, see if we can come up with a better answer on the kinds of objections we might be able to see. Oh, there we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're talking about it, right? Now it's saying our previous agent couldn't sell our home. Why should we trust you? That's a real objection. That's money right there. That's a real thing, right? We're not sure if it's the right time. That's another real one. Like I think we're just gonna wait a little longer. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna take it off the market. We're not gonna sell anymore. Why? Right? What's going on with that? We're considering trying to sell it ourselves. A real objection in a lot of markets. We're not sure if we're going to move forward selling it all. Not really. Not really sure. And look at the response. It's understandable to have some doubts, especially after a successful listing. Let's take some time to discuss your goals. And so, this is a little bit, this is the thing with ChatGPT. It gets a little bit cute with the language a little bit. I think this is it adds way too many words and it adds way too many adjectives, right? A little bit, it spices it up a little bit too much. The language can be, another thing I would say is, hey, another prompt I would give it, you know what? I love the objections, but for the responses, make it more to the point, right? More concise and to the point on these objection handlers, because they're a little bit too verbose. There's a little bit too many things happening at the same time here. I don't love the language because this is a lot. ChatGPT tends to do this a lot. It is more of a conversation tool. It is not so much a sales and marketing tool, at least not yet, right? So it does a little bit too, it gets too verbose. It talks a little bit too much, because it kind of wants to impress you on how verbose it is, which is cool. That's great. But if you're doing sales, like being too verbose is usually not good, right? That's not really the way you want to present yourself. I don't think so, at least. So cool. This is pretty impressive. This is good and only getting better, right? So, but this is not all, right? This is like a sales pitch, but that's not all, folks. There's another part of artificial intelligence tools that are slowly coming into the market. I would say ChatGPT is one of them for sure. One of them. Another one, another kind of tool. And Luis, I don't know if you've interacted with these at all. It's the chat bots, the ChatGPT enabled chat bots. I don't know if you've seen those, if you had any experience with those, but those are slowly starting to creep up as well. Over the last few months, we've seen more and more chat bots that are, because chat bots have been around for years and years and years. Artificial intelligence chatbots have been around for years, but this is different, right? The Chat GPT, OpenAI, really, which is the company that built Chat GPT, OpenAI enabled chatbots. That's relatively new, right? That's been around for less than a year in practice. Luis, have you heard of those? Have you played around with any of those? What are people saying about those so far?
I haven't had any interaction with chatbots. Well, I guess the latest version of it. I mean, I have had conversation with chatbots and different like tech supports, or you message someone for help, and you can kind of tell that it's a chatbot. It's not really a human texting you back, but it's still pretty useful, right? It answers your questions. It gives you suggestions. For example, I can think of Amazon. I think Amazon has some chat bots, and whenever you like make a complaint or something like that, that's the last time I actually remember a product that got lost that from Amazon, that I
Yeah,
went to make a complaint, and I ended up talking to a chat bot. It was not even a person; it was just a chat bot responding to my questions and telling me what to do and where to go.
yeah, absolutely. And those are pretty good. Those have been around for a while. They're pretty good when it's a very structured kind of a scenario, right? When a customer wants some tech support. Hey, I have an issue with your product. Okay, great. What kind of issue is it? Can you choose one of these three options? Can you choose and those have been around, those can be useful if your issue happens to fall neatly into one of those categories, right? One of the issues that can happen is that what if your issue doesn't really fall into those categories, or you haven't really done a great job at training it, right? So I want to show you another quick demo of another tool. Check this out. So this is a tool that we use inside our Lead Links Pro tool. This is it's called Conversation AI. It is an open AI enabled chatbot. There's a whole settings here. You can do suggestive, where it suggests responses to you, or you can do autopilot. 100% the chatbot just takes over for the first 10 messages, 20 messages, 30 messages. It'll 100% handle the conversation for you until you tell it to stop, right? And here is an example. This chatbot is a little bit different than what most folks have seen. This one is trained. Let me show you the training data. This is trained by scanning our website, which I think is wild. I hadn't seen that before. This is a new thing enabled by OpenAI. You give it the website, powersite.com, and it tries to figure out, what you want it to say. Like if you ask it questions about Power ISA, it's going to try to answer. So check this out. So I'm going to go like, hi, hello. I'm testing out a bot that we trained a little bit on Power ISA. Hi, what's on your mind today? Yeah, I want to hire an ISA. Let's see what it says. We didn't tell it to do any of this, by the way. This is 100% trained. Look, book a time. So it wants to book an appointment. So we told it, as soon as you get a question, like try to book an appointment, right? So, but I'm going to give it an objection. So I think this was good. I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it's like training data, right? I'm going to give it a thumbs up. How much does it cost? Really basic question that I would want answered on the website, right? Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. The cost, that's a good response, right? The cost varies in the, we'll tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. I want an ISA to do circle prospecting. Okay, this is it. Let's see let's see what it does. How does it react to that question? So it's trying to get you back to booking a call again as well, right? So if I go down the booking, it'll give me a link to book a call with the team, which is what we wanted to do ultimately. So I think this is interesting. I think this technology is only going to get better and better. And all that kind of fun stuff. You can kind of go off the rails and ask it random things as well, and it responds very differently than a regular chatbot, an older generation chatbot would respond with, right? So let's ask it something else. Not ready quite yet. I need to think about it. Think about it. Not sure how the real estate market is doing. Let's see what it says. I actually have no idea what it's going to say right now. Okay, hold on. It's still trying to get you like the book of call, right? So, I mean, hey, good effort, chatbot. Good effort. This is the job. This is what we want it to do. It's this chatbot wants to get you to do a live transfer, to connect you with Nate, to book a call with someone from our team, right? So, good effort, good job. So, these kind of tools have definitely taken a big jump over the last few months, over the last half year or so, and there's an arms race going on now with these chatbots trying to get more people to use them and to use OpenAI. And actually, not just OpenAI is one kind of AI like engine. There's more than that, right? There's many more that there's Anthropic has another model you can use. Facebook has a model you can use. It's actually an open source model. Amazon has one that they're working on. A lot of these companies are making competing models to see which one can be trained easier, which one gives better responses, like all that fun stuff, right? But that's not all. So we get asked, at least I've gotten asked a lot of times on what about uh, artificial intelligence for voice? Okay. What about, AI making calls, making phone calls, like a robot making phone calls for you on your behalf? What is up with that? And Luis, I don't know if you've heard about this or not, or people have asked you about it or not, but it's definitely come up in a few conversations I've had. What about you?
Well, I mean, we've been discussing that. We've been talking about AI for a while here in the company in our meetings, and I've never heard anything about a working product like the one that you showed the other day. I am impressed. I have to say, you said some other folks in the team were not that impressed. I was impressed, not by the quality of the voice of the bot itself, but the answers, the response, how logical they were to the conversation, how it was just a fluent, it was what I would have asked. I was impressed, to be honest.
Yeah, and for the people that have no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about. I did a demo with the team earlier this week around like the latest and greatest state of the art technology when it comes to AI voice, and I'll be doing more content around it because I think it's interesting. But for the people who don't know what we're talking about, let me show you because I think it's worth describing. So I'm going to share my screen one more time, share my screen, and this is a technology called Air.ai. It's Air.ai. I was able to get an account with this company to test it out, try it out. I guess that's my intention and seeing how, what's the state of the art? Where's the market currently at, right? So here's a really simple, this is an agent called TestBot, right? And this is a script that I uploaded over to Air.ai. And I want people to kind of see. It starts with, hey, prospect name. It's Alex from ABC Realty. How's it going? And this is like a scenario where we would call someone that just registered from a Facebook app. Okay, just gave us their information, and they reached us through Facebook, inbound Facebook lead. Okay, they're calling an inbound Facebook lead. I want people to check this out. Actually, you know what? Let me stop sharing because I didn't share my sound. I want to share the sound on what's this? So screen advanced computer audio. Here we go. Share sound. Here's computer. Okay, cool. All right. Advanced. Okay, cool. So I think that's going to work. I think it's going to work. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me stop share again. So I want to share my second screen, share sound. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That's way easier. Okay. Now it did what I expected to. Okay, great. So I'm going to give myself a call and Luis, let me know if you can hear this to make sure we're doing it the right way. So I'm going to have it call me and do a quick demo. Okay, it's going to be Gus, and this is going to be the phone number. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Can you hear it?
We got sound, yes.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Gus.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Gus. It's Alex from ABC Realty. How's your day going so far?
It's going so far. What's this about, Alex?
I see that you opted into our Facebook ad for a free list of homes under a certain price. Do you remember that?
Barely. Can you tell me more?
Of course. I'm actually a manager over here at ABC Realty's client success team, and I wanted to check in with you to see if there's any way we can help you. I apologize in advance if there's a bit of a delay in our conversation. We've been experiencing some technical issues today.
Oh, cool. That's fine. No worries.
Great, I appreciate your understanding. So I'm curious, what had you looking into our free list of homes? Are you just starting your home search, or are you looking for something specific?
I'm just getting started. I don't think I need, to talk to anyone just yet. Just looking for homes. That's pretty much it.
I totally get it, Gus. Sometimes it's good to explore on your own before diving into conversations. Let's say everything went perfectly and you found your dream home from our list. What would that look like for you?
My dream home?
Absolutely, your dream home. What specifically would make it your dream home? What gets you excited about finding that perfect place?
So, I guess, moving to a better school district and just overall kind of a safer neighborhood, I think.
Ah, I see. Moving to a better school district and a safer neighborhood are definitely important factors. Can you tell me more about why those aspects are important to you?
It's because I have little kids. I have school age kids. So, I just want them to have a better experience, right?
I completely understand, Gus. It's important for your kids to have a better experience in education. Creating a safe and nurturing environment for them is crucial. Now, let me ask you this. What's one word you'd use to describe how you'd feel finding that home? Would it be relief, excitement, joy?
Probably joy, I guess, would be the closest thing.
Joy, that's a great word. Finding your dream home should definitely bring you joy. Why specifically does the idea of finding that home bring you joy?
Because it's for my kids.
I can understand why finding a home for your kid brings you joy. It's all about creating a happy and fulfilling environment for them. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much would you feel that joy if you found your ideal home?
Oh, like an 11.
Wow, an 11. That's amazing to hear how much joy it would bring you. Now, on the flip side, on the same scale of 1 to 10, how much do you feel like you have that joy currently?
Like 6 or 7, I guess.
I see, so you're currently at a 6 or 7 in terms of feeling that joy. Why do you think it's not as high as you'd like it to be?
I haven't found the right place yet, I think.
I understand, Gus. It can be frustrating when you haven't found the right place yet. But don't worry, we're here to help. Well, based on our conversation, I have 2 resources for you that I think would really help you out. Do you want me to send those to you?
Sure, yeah, Alex, go for it.
Awesome. The first resource is a guide on the home buying process, and the second is a free consultation call with one of our real estate experts to help you with the things we talked about. So I can get this set up for you. What city are you in so I can check your time zone?
I'm in Wichita, Kansas.
Got it, Wichita, Kansas. Thank you for that. We have a couple of available times for the consultation call. We have one slot at 10 a.m. and another at 2 p.m., both in your local time. Which time works best for you?
Probably the 10 a.m. spot. But you know what, Alex? I don't think I'm ready yet to book a call. Is that okay?
I completely understand, Gus. It's important to feel ready before booking a call. Just to clarify, are you saying you'd prefer not to book the call at this time?
Yeah, I think so.
I hear you, Gus. It's totally fine if you're not ready to book the call just yet. Just keep in mind that the consultation call is a great opportunity to get personalized guidance and support. If you change your mind or feel ready in the future, don't hesitate to reach out. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Nope, that's it. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
You're welcome, Gus. If you ever need any assistance in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great day. Take care.
Okay, so I mean, so a couple things. That's impressive that an AI, can hold a conversation like that because, of what the bot said, maybe half of it is in the script, maybe less. I think actually less than half of it is actually in the script. They are reacting to what you're saying in real time. It's just a really, really groundbreaking technology. On the flip side, though, to be fair, I think it went this well because I know it's a bot, right? And I'm trying to give it a chance to respond. There's a noticeable issue on lag. There's definitely, it gets better as it goes along. I think it got better, but initially it's rough. The first couple seconds are kind of rough. It's a little bit challenging to get things off the ground and get going. And you can notice that there's a lag there, that there's not 100% really, not a real person on the other end. You kind of tell. So I don't know. I mean, Luis, what are your thoughts when after hearing it go that way?
Well, I am impressed, and especially when you consider that this is the starting point. This is the starting point for these technologies. So the few years, a few couple of years into the future, how well is it going to sound like a human? Because you're right. I mean, it doesn't sound like a human. You could tell right away that it's not a human. You're talking to a machine, but the conversation that it's having with you, though, it's what a human, actually better of what a human could do, right? I mean, some of the report that was building with you, some of the comments that it would made, I was looking at some of the script, and I could tell that there were some parts that were not on the script. It was just the AI itself coming up with that. So for a starting point, it is impressive. I would like to see how well they could make it sound like a real human, because I know that's going to be an issue, right? A lot of people are not going to want to be talking to a machine, to a robot. They wanted the interaction with the human. So even though it's saying the right things, I feel like if it doesn't sound like a human, that's going to create an issue.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. It doesn't really sound like a real person yet, but it does a very decent job at objection handling. Like that's not bad actually, right? When you give it an objection, once it solves some of that tonality issue, it does sound a little bit robotic. And then I don't know if you noticed a few times the tone was really off. Like goodbye, guys, and then like a really serious tone. So
Right,
this
very
like
low.
it has an issue with kind of mixing that tone. That'll get better over time, I would assume. And yeah, that just making it sound more like a real person. It's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a pretty wild, use of technology. This is like you said. I agree with you 100%. This is the worst it's ever going to be. This is the worst version of this technology we're ever going to see because it's getting better every day, right? So I think that's pretty impressive where it is and kind of where it can be, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now. I think this will be good. There's a big question up in the air, though, of how this technology can be used. And from my understanding, again, I'm not a lawyer. We're not lawyers here, not attorneys. That if people want, because this technology, Air.ai, was built as a cold calling tool. Okay, it's built. This is the scenario. They want to use it for cold calling. I used it in kind of an inbound lead scenario. That's not really what it's built for. It's really targeted for cold calling. I don't know if that's legal to do, at least in the US. I don't know if you can use an AI bot to cold call a bunch of people, and not disclose that you're an AI, right? I don't even know if it's legal to do, even if you disclose it, right? So that's up in the air. I'm not an expert on it. I've heard people that are experts say that you can't do it legally, right? It's like a robocall, like a massive robocall that at some point you're going to get, you might get in trouble with, right? That's what I've heard. Not an expert on this. I think we'll see this play out over the next few months. It's on the bleeding edge of technology. But for an inbound lead, right? As long as you're upfront and you disclose that they can be contacted by your AI assistant, I think you're not going to have a compliance issue with this. I think that inbound lead, initial call, like speed the lead on steroids. I think can be a really compelling scenario and a compliance scenario for real estate agents. That's what my gut tells me. So that's what we're going to be focusing on for this kind of technology. See what we can do with it. But it's impressive, even if it's in its infancy. It's not there yet. I don't think it's ready for prime time. I don't think so. But it's getting better and better. So we'll be seeing more and more of it as time goes by.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Now, the question that you've been asking back and forth, it's like, how much is this going to get into the business of the ISA, the agent? How much is this technology? I mean, I would like to think that the initial call, that would be easy, but further down the line in the process with the lead, I feel like leads, they still need the warmth of a human being, the
Yeah.
interaction with someone who cares about them.
Yeah, 100%. And I know a few teams that are beta testing this right now. They're using it. And the only thing they're using it for is that initial call to either live transfer or book a call. That's all they're using it for. They don't see any use case for it in a follow-up call, in a nurturing call. It's not good enough to do that. Not yet. Not yet. That might be maybe the next generation of this technology. But where it is good enough, I feel, or will be good enough pretty soon, is that in that initial contact, we don't have any context. You have no context. You have no idea what they're going to say, what they're going to do, where they're at in the process. That's where it can get it can add a lot of value. When you need context and empathy and expertise, it's not there at all. I don't see anyone using it for that, at least not yet, right? It'll be wild when the bot calls someone, gets the context, remembers it, and then uses it on the second call, on a follow-up call, on a nurturing call. That's going to be bonkers, right? If it can get that information, if it can get that context, it'll be wild to see something like that. This is not even close to that right now. That might be further down the line. I'm talking about maybe, if this is going to be primetime ready in a few months, that might be primetime ready in a couple of years, at least. I think the contextual follow-up and it being good at that. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but we'll see, man. I mean, I've been wrong about this for a long time on this AI voice technology. I don't think it's coming out. It's here. It's here. It's not ready for prime time yet, but it will be ready pretty soon. So we'll be keeping a close eye. So, anyway, Luis, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks for making the time to chat with us once again. Being here on Tuesday Topics is an interesting one. It's going to be really wild what people decide to do with this technology. So glad. Thank you for helping us, bounce some ideas off and take the deep dive into AI when it comes to the ISA role. Thanks.
Thank you for having me, Gus.